know, Brian, we can provide analysis all day, but we want to bring someone else in to talk to us a bit about this. James Barragán, who is with the Texas Tribune politics reporter. James, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us tonight.
Hey, good to be here with you on this exciting election night.
James, you've covered all of these races. I want you to tell me, just between us and whoever's watching here, which one is the top race you're watching?
Oh, I think you guys just talked about it. The Attorney General's race on the Republican side has got to be the one that most people are watching. You've got an incumbent in Ken Paxton who's been underwater from his own party. You can tell that because there were 3 high-profile names, and that's really playing out tonight as you see him below that 50% plus 1 threshold that he needs to avoid the runoff. And really, what's really exciting for political observers like us is that neck and neck that we're seeing with Land Commissioner George P. Bush and former Supreme Court Justice Eva Guzman. I mean, they are really, really neck and neck in every major county that I've seen thus far. Obviously, it's still early on; things can change, but it's shaping up to be an exciting night on that race.
And, you know, Land Commissioner Bush was really on the attack here lately. It felt like in the last week, in the last 2 weeks of this race, whereas he wasn't really concerned. You saw him more attacking Ken Paxton. He really shifted his attacks towards Eva Guzman.
Yeah, well, George P. Bush had been consistently polling second throughout the race since there had begun polling, I think, in fall. What happened, I think, lately or towards the end of the race is that Eva Guzman really started gaining steam. You saw that in the Attorney General debate last Thursday, where Bush and Guzman just really went at each other. And then the next day, I think Ken Paxton put out an attack ad against her. So it's really been Paxton and Bush attacking Guzman, I think recognizing that she's sort of peaking at the right time.
James, let's talk about the lieutenant governor's race on the Democratic side. I know a lot of people are familiar with the name Mike Collier. Michelle Beckley, Carla Braley, both pretty good showing in the early voting numbers. Has that surprised you at all?
It hasn't surprised me, even though Mike Collier ran last time in 2018, and he's got good name recognition amongst the loyal Democratic voters. I think there was still enough room in that race for a challenger to emerge. And when you get there starts being 3 people in a race, then the runoff starts seeing like it's more of a likelihood. With Michelle Beckley, you've got, not a huge name, but she's got some name recognition, particularly in North Texas, and she was one of the Democrats who broke quorum last year to stop the election voting bill. So she was in D.C. She was on a lot of national television. She's got name recognition. Carla Braley, of course, is a party organizer, so she's got some name recognition. I'm not completely surprised that one is potentially in runoff territory, but I will be interested to see who that potential second person is. It looks like Mike Collier will be the first top vote getter, but I'm interested to see who comes in second.
Yeah, and really interesting, Carla Braley, while she has some name recognition, I would say probably more so in the Houston area, she is really a newcomer in terms of politics and running for office.
Definitely a newcomer to most voters. What she told me when we were talking in interviews for the race is that she is known to voters. She is known to the loyal Democratic voters who are the people who turn out in these elections. So it's sort of consistent with how she's sort of thought of this race, that she would be polling a little bit higher than sort of how we had expected if you're just a political observer and are not watching things every day. But it's still early in the night. We've only seen early voting. We've only seen it from a couple of counties, and let's see how things shake out.
James, I would love to hear your opinion since we're talking about Democratic races. The Attorney General's race on the Democratic side is quite the crowded race. What do you make of it?
I think that one's wide open as well. I think the polling has shown that Rochelle Garza, the former ACLU attorney, has been polling at the top of that race, but the highest that I've seen her is at 17%, which is nowhere near getting her to avoid a runoff. I see you guys are showing the numbers for Lee Merritt and Joe Jaworski. Lee Merritt is a civil rights lawyer. He's got big name recognition, has represented the families of Ahmaud Arbery, both both of them, John. So he's well known and he does a lot of television. So his name might get some recognition from voters if they're going into the voting booth and they don't know. And then Joe Jaworski was the first person, I think, to say he was running for a Democrat for AG. So he's been working it for a while now. And it'll be interesting to see. I think it will be Rochelle Garza at the top there. And then it's really between, I think, Lee Merritt and Joe Jaworski. They're fighting for second place. It's going to be interesting how that night plays out.
Indeed it is.
I'd like to ask you while we've got you, if you've got a second. This District 35 congressional seat on the Democratic side, the early voting numbers right now, Greg Casar, the former Austin council member, with a sizable lead out of 20,000 counted votes early. He's got 11,000 of them. Is that kind of the way you expected that one to go? Greg Casar, Eddie Rodriguez? I thought it would be a little closer than that.
I think for political observers, that one should be a lot closer. I mean, Eddie Rodriguez has represented the Austin area, particularly East Austin, for more than 15 years now in the State House. He's got a lot of name recognition. The problem for him is that Greg Casar also has huge name recognition as an Austin City Council member. He was a big push on a lot of the police reform stuff. He was a big push on the homelessness bans. And so he's got a lot of name recognition. And don't forget that CD 35 also stretches down I-35 and into San Antonio. Both of those places, I think Greg Casar actually has higher name recognition than Eddie Rodriguez, because in Hays County, that's an Austin TV market, as you all well know. And so if you're an Austin City Council candidate, your name is getting played a lot in those TV stations. And in San Antonio, he fought for a lot of the paid sick leave ordinances. He's done a lot of work down there. So it's a little bit less surprising, but I think it's definitely shocking for Eddie Rodriguez's camp. You would think that he would be doing a lot better than this showing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. James Barragán of the Texas Tribune, we thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us tonight and give us some analysis. Always good to talk to you.
Thank you. Have a fun night.